signs of the court's work throughout Summerset, but nothing of the court itself.
I think the Court of Bedlam has fewer members than we imagined.
Enough of this for now. Let's see what our friend has learned. You returned, but without the Dawnbreaker. Weren't you able to make contact with Meridia? Forgive my impatience. This inability to remember has me on edge. Go on. Tell me what you learned. The Court of Bedlam is eliminating the cults of the other princes? To what end? You said you were able to make contact with Meridia. Then why didn't she give you a restored Dawnbreaker? I suspected that might be the case. I'll send Valsarun with you into Mephalah's realm to rescue the Golden Knight. A disturbing development, to be sure, but we'll have to hope Meridia can protect herself. I'll open a portal to Mephalah's spiral skein when you're ready. Then you can use the gem to find the Golden Knight.
Mephalah's realm can be daunting, but I'll be with you the entire time.
Remember to stay focused on your destination at all times. Otherwise, you could get lost in myriad pathways of the Dream Cave.
Are you there? I think we were separated. Maybe it will reveal a path we're not seeing. I think there's something stalking me in here. Oh no!
couldn't breathe. As usual, you found me just in the nick of time. The beast that captured me, I've never seen anything like it. A little lightheaded, but I'll be fine. Now that we're together, we can focus on finding the Golden Knight. And if that beast shows its mandibles again, I'll be ready. Something with the body of a giant spider, and, well, I'm not sure how to describe it, but it was a creature right out of my nightmares. Just what... the path revealed by the Dawnstar gem? I wouldn't give you That wasn't a pleasant experience. That light in the distance. It's brighter. Out of place in this dismal setting. That must be the Golden Knight.
I must check my waves. Perhaps some prey has been caught.
won't leave something as valuable as Meridia's Golden Knight unprotected.
You're about to regret this.
Silence, or my webs will fill your pretty mouth next.
Took you long enough. I expected this rescue hours ago.
Your gratitude has a hollow ring, Knight.
Oh, I can be very grateful, milady.
Maybe we should just leave him. I'm sure the right master would understand.
Well, this is awkward. Here I am, Meridia's champion, covered in webs and held at the mercy of unsettling spider people. Thanks for rescuing me, though. I would have freed myself at some point. I was just, working up to it, that's all. Guilty as charged. Meridia sent me to offer my assistance, but those other princes, they kept interfering. And then I was dragged into this pit of spider harlots. Look, we can catch up on things later. Right now, we need to get out of here. There's one small problem. Getting out of a Daedric realm isn't just a matter of walking through a door. Believe me, I've tried. Hey, how did you get here, by the way? Mephala specifically said she was putting me someplace where no one would find me. The Dawnstar gem. That makes sense. Between that and the Psijic sages, I can see how you wound up here. And with the gem, I can repair Dawnbreaker. But just so you know, I feel awful. I'm in no condition to fight at the moment.
Let's get out of here. Meet me outside. I can open a portal to the Dreaming Cave, but the ritual will take time, and will more than likely draw Mephala's Daedra. You need to hold... I won't be able to assist you while I'm casting, and the gold... Let my voice penetrate the barriers between here and the Dreaming Cave. few moments longer. I can sense the portal opening, just by the stars! That spider thing! Opened. Let's get out of here.
Valcerin, take the knight to the healers. We'll deal with the sword later. In the meantime, I need to speak with our friend. You and Valcerin entered Mephala realm and rescued Meridia's Golden Knight. I couldn't ask for more, my friend. I assume Darien believes he can repair the Dawnbreaker. I hope that would be the case. The Golden Knight will need to recover some of his strength first, though. Who knows what tortures Mephala and her creatures inflicted upon him? That's not a fate I'd wish on my worst enemy. Who can say what drives such beings as these? To work with the Sea Slode, to pit their followers against the cultists of other princes, to launch attacks into rival Oblivion realms. Such actions boggle the mind. Knight Darien needs to recover his strength first and restore the Dawnbreaker. Then we can attempt to unblock the path and see where I took the heart of transparent law. For now, while the Golden Knight recovers, we must make preparations for breaching the Daedric barrier. Since I can't remember where that particular pathway goes, we'll have to be ready for any contingency. I suspect that we should talk. While the Golden Knight recovers, we must make my memories return slowly, a little at a time. While you searched for the Knight, I suspect that the language is ancient. It may actually predate the languages of Tamriel. I feel that the memory is connected to the barrier. I hoped you'd say that. I sent Oriandra to my study to review my memory and see if she could translate the ancient words. No. Forte.
not derived from Aliad, though I see a possible correlation to Daedric. Who's... Oh, don't you know not to interrupt a sage when she's deep in concentration? I suppose the Rite Master sent you to see how my research was coming along. I've listened to his memory over and over, and I examined every relevant tome I could find. Not yet. The Master of the House of Reveries sent me his work. It relates to a similar language seen in the ruins of Ebon Stadmont, but I only understand a little of it. I wish Lathan was still one of us. He was our language expert. Ancient languages and battle magic, to name just a few. Lathan betrayed us, and I don't trust him, but I've reached a dead end. We need help, and he's the best option I can think of. Take the notes and show them to Lathan. What do we have to lose? I'll let the Rite Master know what I proposed. He may not like it, but he's always telling us to utilize every available resource. I think this qualifies. You'll find Lathan in Valserin's study. See if you can convince him to translate the... I have no idea, but it's worth a try. I know Lathan and the Rite Master were friends. I don't believe Lathan would purposely try to harm Ikesis. On the other hand, if Lathan thinks that helping us will help his cause, he'll jump at the chance. I suppose it had something to do with his daughter. Eldaway was a beautiful girl, smart, sweet, and full of energy. She brightened the entire island. When she fell ill, Lathan and Valserin grew apart. It was how they dealt with the tragedy. Don't you think we tried? The Rite Master, Valserin, the entire Conclave. But nothing helped. She grew weaker and weaker, and then she was gone. Val threw herself into her work after that. Lathan just grew more distant. Only if you want to guarantee that Lathan refuses to help us. Haven't you seen them since they were reunited? Val wants to kill him, and Lathan hates her with a passion. They used to be so in love. Now it breaks my heart to see them like this. I have no idea, but it's worth a try. I know Lathan and the Rite Master were friends. I don't believe Lathan would purposely try to harm Ikesis. On the other hand, if Lathan thinks that helping us will help his cause, he'll jump at the chance. I suppose it had something to do with his... Don't you think...
You weren't this attentive when our daughter actually needed you.
Lathan, I need to go check on the night anyway.
Val, wait! Damn it. By the spinner's holy webs, when did I become an insufferable arse? Valserin, is this some new attempt at interrogation? If so, I'm not familiar with the technique. Very well, I'll play along. Yes, I am a master linguist, specializing in ancient and obscure languages. Why do you ask? Intriguing. I've never seen this dialect before. I can translate it, but I need more to work with. I need to examine the original tablets found at Ebon Stadmont. That will never happen, of course. You do remember I'm a prisoner here, don't you? According to those notes, the writing is carved into a massive stone. I doubt you'd be able to carry it back here. All right, you've piqued my interest. Use this rune when you reach Ebon Stadmont, and I'll be able to see what you see. Nothing nefarious, if that's what you're asking. Just enter the forest, find the obscure language, and use the rune so I can see what you see. It won't do anything beyond that, I assure you. According to the scribblings of this Grand Maestro Forte, Spinner's Web, that's a pompous title. The forest is a maze filled with all kinds of beasts and daedra. I don't see how that's relevant to our interactions. Not in the least. Still, my words were spiteful, meant to hurt her. There was no need for me to open old wounds. But why does this concern you? I'm your enemy. Are you too dense to see that? You and Ichesis, always sticking your noses into places they don't belong. I suppose I can appreciate that, but kindness won't help you in the coming war. Very well, I'll tell you this. Val loved our daughter, and our daughter loved Val. Hate? I'm not sure what emotions I feel right now. But when my daughter was dying, when she was crying for her mother's comfort, Val wasn't there. She was buried in her work, too busy or too frightened to spend those final moments with Ildaway. Nothing nefarious, if that's what you're asking. Just enter the forest, find the obscure language, and use the rune so I can see what you see. It won't do anything beyond that, I assure you. According to the scribblings of this Grand Maestro, I don't see how that's relevant. You and I... The rune is working perfectly. It's almost... I can feel the powerful magic that permeates this place. I sense a Daedric influence, but something that's far older than my Prince Bethala. The Maestro's notes said the ancient words were etched into a massive stone. I expect you'll need to travel deeper into the forest to find the exact location. I can't translate the words the Right Master heard until you find that stone. Just retrace your steps. You likely walked by the massive stone and didn't even realize it. Wait a moment. The Maestro's notes had a passage about crows and a path. Just refer to the book and hope for the best, I guess. Refer to the book and use the rune again when you locate the ancient writing. Have you found the inscription? Not yet, but the inscription is nearby. I sense something else, though. Nocturnal's presence. Ancient inscription. You found it. Something isn't right. I feel our connection breaking up. It's Nocturnal's Earl.
Now that Lathan's gone, we can talk freely. These words of power, they aren't meant for mortal eyes. As an Earl in the Court of Bedlam, believe me when I say that Lathan isn't being totally honest with you. I wish to maintain the balance of power among the Daedric Triad. If Lathan translates this language and passes the secret on to his mistress, Mephala, she'll gain an advantage that could threaten my prince, Nocturnal. Speculate all you want. I'm here to present you with a gift. Nocturnal wants me to provide you with the meaning of the ancient words. It's in all our best interests for the Right Master to remember where he hid the heart of transparent law. The phrase, the Right Master remembers, the one that repeats itself over and over. It's a spell to retrieve something hidden. When the time is right, he just needs to repeat the phrase and the heart's hiding place will be revealed. My mistress doesn't explain herself to me, and she certainly won't explain herself to you. I assume, though, since the heart was hidden by the Right Master, then only the Right Master can retrieve it. Artaeum is only as isolated as it allows itself to be. First, the Abyssal Pearl allowed the Sea Slode and Mephala to invade the Sidjic Island. Then you took Lathan, an Earl in the Court of Bedlam, prisoner. We know your moves before you make them. Our princes plan to do away with the laws imposed by other powers. They want to remake Nirn, reshape it to better suit their every inclination. Of course, to do this, all obstacles must be cast aside, including the other Daedric princes. The court isn't evil. We wouldn't be a part of something that didn't add to the greater good. When our princes are done, war and sickness will be eradicated. I am a Dark Elf, a child of Morrowind who lost her way. Anger and despair almost overwhelmed me, until Nocturnal reached out to comfort me. The Night Mistress filled me with new purpose, and gave me something greater than myself to believe in. While it's true that the court consists primarily... Our princes plan to do... Tell the Right Master, it's a spell of retrieval.
I've re-established my connection to the rune. Tell me what Nocturnal's Earl said to you. I can't believe Nocturnal's Earl interfered like that. We're supposed to be allies. Why would she want to stop me from reading that ancient inscription? A spell. Interesting. And somehow connected to the Right Master's forgotten hiding place. I wonder why Nocturnal decided to share this information. She isn't usually the most forthcoming of the court's esteemed princes. Right. I told them to interrupt my research before I could unravel an ancient and powerful language. Look, you should come back to Kapora Tower now. The Right Master wants to hear everything my associate shared with you. I just wish I could have spent a few moments studying that inscription.
Oriandra, you should have consulted me beforehand.
She saw an opportunity and she took it, Ichesis.
Silence, Lathan. Need I put you in chains to remind you of your status here?
I'm sorry, Right Master. We should have asked permission. It won't happen again.
This escapade of yours could have been disastrous. What were you and Oriandra thinking, trusting Lathan to help us translate the ancient language? Now nothing you discovered can be trusted. We're back to square one. I observed what I could through Lathan's connection, but it seems to me that the Court of Bedlam is just trying to confuse us. What do you think? Should we trust Nocturnal's Earl or not? As much as it pains me, I must concur. We'll just have to make sure that once we recover the heart, it isn't allowed to fall into the hands of the Court of Bedlam or their princes. Darian's outside. Talk to him. Then meet me. No matter whether Nocturnal's Earl spoke truth or lie. I remember.
Your wounds, they're just gone.
I've always healed fast, Val. I can call you Val, right? Give me a moment. I'd like to chat with our friend.
Of course. Then go to the Dreaming Cave. The Right Master's ready.
I wanted to thank you again for getting me out of Mephala realm. Wasn't anything like I originally imagined. Oh, and I wanted to let you know that I was able to repair the Dawnbreaker. The sword's power should allow us to breach the barrier. No thanks to the Psijic healers. I thought they were gonna slice me open to try to figure out what makes me... well, me. I'm glad you stopped by, though. This might sound like a strange question. In fact, depending on how you answer it, it is a strange question. Do you remember me? I'm not talking about here in Summerset. I mean, from someplace else. You don't remember me? I was afraid of that. Meridia told me that time worked differently in Oblivion, but I didn't believe her. What's happened to me hasn't happened to you yet. That doesn't matter now. What matters is Meridia told me about the triad of Daedric princes, and she told me about you. Even sent me to help you defeat them. Of course, she conveniently forgot to tell me how to do that, and she stopped responding to my requests. Has me a little worried. Not everyone gets a choice about the battles they fight. My prince... she's all right, but she's not big on free will. I wanted you to know that you aren't beholden to a higher power. You can decide what... Fixing the Dawnbreaker was surprisingly easy, by the way, especially considering that I had never repaired a Daedric artifact before. Questions? Not like a test or anything, though, right? Tests give me a rash. I wish I knew the answer to that. I remember my father well enough. He was a Breton. But I never met Meridia only...
My mounts are good.